Hello all. Class 6, Chapter 1, Food and its Sources. Food is an essential component for our body. It gives us energy. As we all know that food works as a fuel for our body. If we do not get food, we feel tired and sick. So that means food gives us energy to perform various functions of our for our daily routine. India, being a diverse country, has many culture across the different state. People living in different region of the country eat different types of food. We have a lot of variety of in the food we eat. People living in different countries, different region, they have different type of food and their eating habits. Most of the state in India have some staple food items that are very popular there. For example, Rajasthan, if we are talking about dal bati churma, Gujarat, dhokla, khandvi, thepla, etc. These are called staple food. Food, the food is eaten routinely and in such quantities that it constitutes a dominant portion of a standard diet, that is called staple food. Yes, our body needs food to get nourished and energized. Thus, need food for performing various function. The process. Now here are two terms, nutrition and nutrients. We all know that food gives us nutrition. But how? The basically food gives us nutrient, that is chemical substance present in food, which is used by our body to perform different function and for the use and for the uses for growth and development. So basically nutrition is a process by which body takes in food and uses for growth and development, and nutrients are the chemical substance present in food. So basically these both two terms are different, nutrition and nutrients. Nutrients are the chemical substances which are present in food, and nutrition is the process by which body takes in food and uses for growth and development. Means these nutrients used by this nutrition process for the growth and development of the body. Now, as you all know that food gives us nutrition, so food is very important and very essential part of our life. First, what are the basically the essential, why food is called essential component of our life? Here are some points. That first, food provides nutrient for the growth of our body. Second, food provides the energy necessary to carry out various life activities. Third, food helps in repair or replacement of worn out cells. Fourth, protects the body from various diseases and keeps it fit. Now, what are the sources of food? Like where we are getting this food from? The substance, first of all, the substance from which the food is made are called ingredients. Means the things which we are using to make our food, that is called ingredients. Like I am giving you simple example, dosa. Dosa, the ingredient used for dosa, that is urad dal and rice. If we are talking about tea leaves, water, sugar and milk. So these are the ingredients to make dosa. And now these ingredients we get from plants and animals. Like we are using different ingredients to make different food items, but where from we are getting these? So these ingredients we are getting from plants and animals. So here I am describing you the plant parts which we are using as ingredients. These are the different parts which are giving us different ingredients. Which part? First is root, second seed, stem, fruit, leaves and flowers. So these later in other session we will read about these, that which part of root we are using as ingredients, seeds, stem, fruits, leaves and flowers. Right now the green plants, as we are talking about the plants, we are not talking about right now animals, that ingredients which we are getting from animals. Green plants are called producers. Why they are called so? Because green plants, they make their own food. Green plants make their own food. How? By the process of photosynthesis. By the process of photosynthesis. For this, plant require sunlight, chlorophyll, carbon dioxide gas, water and mineral which they are taking from atmosphere and soil, and they perform their photosynthesis and produce their own food. As they are producing their own food, they are called producers. Second comes animals. Animals are called consumers. Why they are called so? Because directly or indirectly animals depends on plants for their food. Because animal cannot make their own food, they directly or indirectly depends on green plants for their food, so they are called consumers. So in next session we'll discuss about the plant's parts which we are using as ingredients, that is roots, seeds, stem, fruits, leaves and flowers. Thank you. So here I have written some different parts of plants and their ingredients which we are getting from these parts of plants. So first comes root. Carrot, radish, beetroot, turnip are the edible roots of the plant that the food is stored in the roots of these plants that we eat. Second comes stem. Potato, yam, ginger are the modified stems that grow underground. We eat stem of certain plants such as sugarcane and lotus also. Turmeric is also an underground stem which we use as spice in our houses. Next comes leaves. Spinach, cabbage, coriander and fenugreek, which we call methi, are the example of some common edible leaves. Many green leafy vegetables are eaten raw also. Now here comes flower. We eat cauliflower, broccoli, which are the flowers of the plant. Saffron or kesar is obtained from the flowers of the plant. Clove is a flower bud. It is dried and used as a spice in some dishes. Saffron is obtained from plant Crocus sativus. Now here comes fruit. Mangoes, papaya, oranges. These fruits are sweet, juicy and fleshy. Tomato and cucumber, green chilies and capsicum are some fruits which we eat as vegetable. These are fruits but we eat as vegetables. Now seeds. The seeds of many plants are eaten as food. Pulses that we eat are also seeds of plants. Spices such as cumin seed, fennel and coriander are also seed. For cooking, different types of oils are used at home. Many of these oils are obtained from seeds. Example of such oil are mustard oil, sesame oil, mustard oil which we obtain from mustard seed, sesame oil which is obtained from sesame seeds. Now the food items which we are getting from animals. Just now we have read about the food item which we are getting from plants. Now here comes some different food item which we are getting from animals. Eggs, meat, milk and honey. Eggs which we are getting from duck, hen, quail. Meat which we are getting from hen, duck, fish. Milk which we are getting from cow, buffalo, goat, camel. Honey which we are getting from honeybees. Honeybees provide us honey which they prepare from the nectar of plants and store in their beehives. It is called a unique food as all the food items need appropriate storage condition but honey doesn't, and it do not get spoiled at room temperature. Now on the basis of type of food consumed, people are categorized as vegetarian and non-vegetarian. Vegetarian are those who eats only plant parts such as fruits and vegetable. Non-vegetarian primarily eat meat and eggs. They both consume milk and milk products. Keep this in mind. Vegans do not eat animal products like eggs, milk, cheese, yogurt and so on. So rest we will discuss about the different types of animals on their food habits in other session. Thank you so much. Hello all. Continuing with the last session. Now food habits of animal. Animals directly or indirectly depends on green plants for their requirement. Several kinds of animals are found in different parts of the world. What are their food habits? Do all animals eat same food? No. On the basis of their food habits, we can categorize different types of animals like herbivores, carnivores, omnivores, scavengers, decomposer and parasites. Now here comes first herbivores. Herbivores animals that eat only plants are called herbivores. Herba means vegetation and bore means eat. Such animals have two types of teeth, sharp cutting teeth at the front and flat white grinding teeth at the back of their jaw. Examples like cow, deer, horse, giraffe. These are the some examples of herbivores. Now carnivores, animals that eat only other animal are called carnivores, also known as flesh eating animals. They have long and sharp teeth for tearing the flesh of animals. Carnivorous birds have curved pointed beak that aid in tearing flesh. Some examples of carnivores are lion, tiger, eagle, wolf, etc. Omnivores, animals that eat both plants and animals called omnivores. Human being, raccoon, bears and crows are example of omnivores. It is important to note that human beings do not eat the flesh of all animals. They feed on both plants and animals. Omnivores do not eat all types of plants or animals. They eat only parts of certain plants. Other than the above three, there are some other groups in which animals are classified based on their feeding habits. These are scavengers, decomposer and parasites. Scavengers, they mainly feed on dead and decaying animals and plants. The dead remains of animal produce foul smell and can spread infection. They help in cleaning the environment. Scavengers can be either carnivores such as hyena, jackal and vulture, or omnivores such as crow. Decomposers, they are organisms such as bacteria, snail, worms and fungi that break down the organic component in the remain of dead plants and animals and convert them into simpler substances. Scavengers eat or consume dead animals, whereas decomposer break down the remains of dead plants and animals. So they both are different, but they both are helping to clean the environment. Decomposers and scavengers play a very important role in keeping the environment clean. Parasites, they are organisms that live on or inside the bodies of other living organisms and obtain food from them. The organism that provide food and shelter to parasite is called host, means on which the parasite stays and take their food, those are called host, right? They usually harm the host. For example, fleas and leeches suck blood of human beings and other animals. They suck the blood with the help of a small pipe like structure that called proboscis. It's a tube like structure which they use to suck the blood, and it is present in their mouth. Parasites can be of two types, endoparasites and exoparasites. Endoparasite, endo means itself is showing you meaning of this endoparasite, who lives inside the body, and exoparasite, who lives outside the bodies. Here are some example of endoparasites: hookworms, tapeworms. Examples of exoparasites: fleas, leech, lice. They suck blood with the help of small pipe-like structure called proboscis, as I have told you. As I told you earlier that plants make their own food, so they are called producers, but animal depends directly or indirectly depends on plants for their food. Same if we are talking about carnivores, carnivores also depend on some other foods, and omnivores are depends on carnivores. So here is a food chain which we are saying, which is depend on each other for their food, that is called food chain. All living organisms depend on one another for food. This is called food chain. This food chain represent this food dependence of organism in a natural environment. It tells who eats whom. Example, grass is eaten by deer and deer is eaten by lion. Second example, grass is eaten by grasshopper, grasshopper is eaten by lizard, lizard is eaten by eagle and eagle is eaten by fox. The organism at the first level of a food chain is always a producer, because that is only will produce the food. So who is producer? green plants. So green plants are always a producer. The organism, the next in the sequence is herbivores, such as a grasshopper, which we discussed in this example. So they eat plants, so they are called first consumer or primary consumer. The primary consumer is followed by the carnivores, because carnivores eats whom? Herbivores or other animals. So carnivores are secondary consumer, which is followed by the omnivores. Carnivores followed by scavengers, right? So here I have draw a food chain which shows that how one depends on other. Here producer, green plants, they are producing food, and who is eating these? Grasshopper. Who is eating grasshopper? Frog. Who is eating frog? Snake. Snake is eaten by then eagle, and decomposer decompose the body of eagle. This is called food chain. In food chain we always will observe these arrows. These arrows shows the energy transfer from one to another. Like grasshopper eats producer, so the energy from plants transfers to the grasshopper. Then this energy transfers to the frog, then snake, then eagle, right? In nature many food chain exist. An organism may be a part of more than one food chain. That is called food web. I am giving you example here. A network of many interlinked food chain is called a food web. Means at a same place so many food chains are interlinked. Means a producer can be eaten by two or three herbivores. These two or three herbivores can be eaten by carnivores, more than two or three carnivores, right? So many food chains are interlinked. This is called food web. Here I have made this diagram to show you. Here we'll start from grass. Grass is eaten by rabbit also, grasshopper also. Now grasshopper is and grains also eaten by grasshopper and mice. Now who is eating grasshopper? Owls also, birds also. Who is eating mice? Owls also, right? And carrots, rabbit is eating carrot also, and rabbit can be eaten by fox also. So here you can see, children, for one producer there are more than one or two consumers, which we call primary consumer, and for that primary consumer also one or more secondary consumer. And in food chain we have seen that only producer, then primary consumer, then secondary consumer, and third consumer. So here only one is involved, and here many interlinked food chains are involved. So this is called food web, and this is called food web. Next this chapter is going to be complete. Now exercise which we have to complete, that I already mentioned in written sheet. So all the answers you have to write. Thank you.